questions. Now to someone who really came into this conference last year, and in year one, Erin Dickerson Davis led William and Mary to 18 wins, the most by a first-year head coach in William and Mary women's basketball history. 12 CAA wins by the Tribe. It matched the record for the most in a single season. Erin Dickerson Davis, second-year head coach of the Tribe, is with us now. Erin, great to see you. What did you take away from your group in year one and putting those bricks down that now you try to build on here this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think my last year's crew really just built the foundation that we needed to find a way to sustain some success here at William and Mary. It was not an easy road. You know, the people that followed us last season knows that our non-conference was a bit of a struggle. We started conference playoff. Not our greatest, but you know, my kids, they just stayed the course. They knew that it was a process, and they bought into that process every single day. And I really do believe that they laid that foundation. They had fun. They worked harder than they've ever worked before. And now my newcomers, and they see that. They see what was built in year one, and now they don't want to lack in year two.
Coach, I'm going to pick up on your word of laying the foundation, because obviously if you look at your roster, you lost a lot of talent from your squad last year. But the name to me that jumps off the page is Rebecca Frisbee-Smith, because I have to imagine that in terms of maintaining that foundation, that culture, really bringing that leadership into your program, she's a name at the top of the list. So can we talk about everything that she brings to your program?
Rebecca Frisbee-Smith is literally the player that you hope to build your culture. Like, she literally did everything that we asked her to do from day one. She bought in, she fought every single day, and you guys have seen her play. She's literally fighting on the court. You know, at some points her body is so banged up because she's throwing her body around, she's on the ground, she's taking charges, she's rebounding, she's pressing, she's always in the mix. We're just so lucky to have her energy on the floor. You guys know she's gonna hit a three and she's gonna go crazy, and our whole team just kind of takes that energy from her as well. So we're so excited to have her back and really leading this group. And then we've also had some other upperclassmen that have stepped into that leadership role. You know, they tasted winning last year and they never want to go backward. And I'm just super proud of them and really stepping into big shoes. You know, everybody knows they had big shoes to fill, and they're working every day to do that.
Coach, we see this a lot where there are players who've had great experiences at the programs that they're at, and they want to transfer for a new experience to just add more depth and more layers to their game. And we kind of see that happen with your program this year with Nyla Young coming in. We watched her play last year. We loved seeing her on the court at Hampton. But I think that says a lot about your program, that she thinks William and Mary, seeing what they do, is a place that I would like to go and evolve my game. Can you talk a little bit about adding her into the mix and what she's bringing to your roster?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Nyla brings experience. She brings experience overall, but also within this league. She knows what post play is like in this league and how to be successful at it. She had an amazing year, first year in the league for her last year. She has mixed into our team so well. Like, you would never know that she was a newcomer. And she just adds a level of post play that we did not have last year. You know, my post players were more stretch, and we were trying to put them in the block, and that's not really where they succeeded best. Whereas Nyla, she just has, we talk about her having a deep bag all the time, right? Like, she can go in the post, she can spread out to the 3-point line, she could ISO at the elbows and the short corners. She's a great passer. She's been working on her shot, and the confidence in taking that 3-pointer, which, you know, we love to take. So, I mean, she has just come in and she's made an impact right away, and I really do believe that she'll continue to impact throughout the season. We're grateful to have her.
Erin, I love the fact that we're talking to you with a great backdrop. So I'm putting you on the spot. First off, are you talking to us from your office?
Yes.
What's behind you there? I see a quote. I wanted to see always something right over your other shoulder.
Oh, always wear your invisible crown.
Always wear your invisible crown. What's the meaning behind that?
Yeah, I talked to my girls when we first got here just about empowering women and really getting them to open up and use their voices. We have a couple different leadership committees within this team just because I am a firm believer that we have to use sport to empower our young women to be leaders, to be CEOs and presidents and own their own businesses. And, I never want them to lose sight of that. We're going to have good days, we're going to have bad days, but there's a crown up there. Like, you're still a queen regardless. And we have an opportunity to bounce back from whatever adversity hits us. So I just put that up there just as a reminder to my girls, like, you got this. Like, we're queens and we're gonna figure this out together.
Coach, I also saw dream big written on something behind you, and I know that that is something that you talk about, and that's going to lead me into my next question. I'm looking at your non-conference schedule. You've talked about last year your team really learned a lot, I think, going through the non-conference schedule. This is a challenging schedule when you look at the names on this list. Obviously, you play a lot of local teams, a lot of teams within the state, Virginia, Virginia Tech, James Madison, also play Navy. Can you talk about that schedule and how you think that's really going to help prepare your team for conference play?
I mean, last year we were one game out of tying for first and one game out of being eighth or ninth, right? That's how tough the league is. And we love that about this league. We love that every single night it is just super competitive and you don't know what you're going to get. It's literally a dogfight every night. And I think the only thing to truly prepare us for the dogfight the conference is going to be is to fight dogs in the non-conference. So we're starting with Norfolk State. They went to the NCAA tournament, they won their league, and they have dogs. And so now we just have to figure out how to string some wins together. I do believe that if we can fight through this non-conference schedule, that we have a real shot at being good in the league. But the only way to learn how to fight a dog is to fight other dogs. And so that's what we're doing this year with our non-conference schedule.
What do you think is the biggest thing that you're stressing to your team right now in practice that has to translate earlier in this season? Because I'm sure there are things that are going to gradually come. You're a different team in February and March than who you're going to be on November the 6th. But if there's something that you definitely want to see from this group right from the get go, what does it need to be able to compete and win?
For me, it's confidence. And I think that we didn't gain confidence last year until later. And when we gained that confidence, then we won basketball games, right? I think that our confidence dictates everything. It dictates our ability to defend, to rebound, to score against tough opponents. And I do think that we wavered in that a lot last year. We were very, very senior dominant with Riley and Sid and Bree, and they carried it. I mean, Sid was as confident as it got, and she still had hard days. And I think that if we can be confident that we can actually compete, no matter who it is we're playing against, no matter what history says that we've lost to this team before or whatever it may be, then I think that we're going to be in a good spot. We'll be better defenders, we'll be more efficient scorers. But if we come out and we're unsure, if we ever come onto that floor and we're like, I don't know if we can win this game, I don't know if I'm good enough to compete with these teams, then we're going to struggle. And so if we can just come out every single day like we're supposed to be here, we're supposed to be at the top, or we're supposed to be where we want to go, we're supposed to reach our goals, then I think we'll be in a good spot. Whereas last year we set goals and we had a lot of people that didn't know if we could reach them until the very end. We won games and they're like, oh, maybe we can do this, right? So that's what I hope we show this year, that we're a building team for sure. Like, we're absolutely rebuilding, but we're also confident in what we're building. And we know that it's going to click. We just have to trust the process.
Well, Erin, great to be with you, and congratulations on a really successful first season. William and Mary going to the CAA tournament semifinals, 18 wins on the year, top four finish in the league, and we wish Coach Dickerson Davis and the Tribe the best here in year two. Coach, thanks for the time.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
guys.
Coach.